Hey, welcome to the best of everything. This is Ruben Paul, and across from me is my sick brother from another mother, the one and only Mr. Johnny
Robitussin
Sanchez. What up, man?
Robitussin, what's up, dude?
You know what? Here's the thing.
I'm getting better.
One thing I do appreciate about Johnny, and more people should be like this, even though people get offended. Like when Johnny is sick, when you're sick, like you don't shake people's hands.
Well, not shaking.
Like
nobody.
you'll tell people, like, "Yo, no offense, I'm sick.
I got a cold." Yeah.
There's some motherfuckers who will wipe their nose and come around the corner and
Or
shake your hand,
like
cough into their hand and just shake.
And you know what? I just went like this. You know why I went like this?
Yeah.
So I didn't get it on my hands.
Yeah.
In case
We shake hands or do something like that.
I don't even do this, by the way, people, because even if people go, well, just give me the fist.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's on my it's the inside or the outside. I don't even know.
Yeah. But you know what's...
Thank you
for
acknowledging that. Yeah.
But what's funny is some people get offended when you won't shake their hand. And it's like, yo, I'm literally doing this for your own good so you won't get sick. Because as comedians, when we do shows, like I know me, and I'm sure you're like this after shows, we'll stay and we'll meet the fans and shake hands. And then 2 days later, you're fucking in bed with the chills and like, how did I get sick? And it's like, because you interact with the public, we interact with the public so much that it can cause us to get...
by the way, speaking of that, I did a show not long ago with Michael Rappaport, right? We all love Michael Rappaport. Great.
Yeah, shout out
and
Michael Rappaport.
He's funny. He's good, man.
Oh, good.
So I was on before.
I haven't seen him yet, but I've heard good things.
He's good. I was really impressed with his stand-up. And beforehand, I was upstairs and I was like,
no, what? Let me ask you, were you really impressed, or are you just saying that to be nice?
No. He's a good stand-up.
Oh, good.
Yeah. He did really well.
Good.
And he went on after me, by the way. And still did well.
Okay.
So beforehand, I went like this.
For people not watching and just listening.
Oh, that's right. I did.
Johnny
a robot.
did a robot like he
yeah.
killed it, and it's almost impossible to follow him. That's his ego talking.
By the way, some of you guys, I'll have to get some old footage of when I was my popping and breakdancing days, but Ruben hasn't seen it.
I have footage. I have footage of you pop locking as a grown adult. And stop, Johnny.
Okay,
stop. Please.
Almost started again. But anyway, I said to Michael Rappaport, I go, "Hey man, nice to meet you. We're on the show together tonight. Fan of your work. His movies and all that other stuff." I go, I got a call. I'm sick, so I'm not gonna shake your hand. You know what I mean? He goes, "Oh, I appreciate that." So I went up on stage, and then when he went on after me, he goes, which is I thought was funny. I wish I could have told him, but he goes, all right. He goes, do you guys know Johnny's sick? Did he tell you guys? I didn't tell the audience.
Yeah.
So should I be touching this mic right now? He's touching this mic. I washed my hands right before I went on stage.
But you cough sometimes when you're on stage, man. So you could have coughed into your hand
but
and then
turn when I cough.
I don't know,
and I'm
Johnny.
on stage. But I wanted to tell Michael. I wish I could have told him afterwards. Like, yeah, dude, I washed my hands before I even went up there.
All right.
I mean, that's how good I am. Who does that?
All right. We don't. Anyway.
Who does that out there in not only comedy but in the world?
Oh, okay. So you're trying to say you're that considerate?
I'm very considerate. When I'm sick, by the way, and somebody goes, "Hey, let me see that picture," I go, "Don't touch my phone." That's how good I am.
Okay, are we done yet? Can we? You don't even know your camera. How long we've been doing this show? You don't know which one's your camera?
This is episode.
I don't know what episode it is, but I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I thought we wanted to make sure to announce each one. But
so, how many times have you worked with Michael?
That was the first time.
That was the first time?
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay.
And by the way, underrated comedy movie that he did. Every time I bring this up, people go, "Oh, I didn't even know." It's an underrated Woody Allen movie that nobody ever talks about. Small Time Crooks.
I do remember seeing that. I can't really remember Small Time Crooks.
Dude, this movie.
Chris, did you like Small Time Crooks?
I don't remember watching it.
See?
I've watched a lot of Woody Allen movies.
I think yeah.
And I'll tell you why this movie's so great.
Okay,
Not only is it so well cast with Michael and these bumbling crooks. Woody Allen, all of Woody Allen's movies, he always had a female that was below him comedically. And I don't no offense to Mia Farrow and all of them, but they weren't his match comedically, right?
Annie Hall?
Annie Hall.
Come on, dude.
No, what I mean is, you're gonna hear me. You're gonna know where I'm going with this.
All right.
In Small Time Crooks, the reason why this movie is so hilarious to me.
Hilarious that no one saw it, but go ahead.
I know. This is what's crazy.
No, but I'm sure it is. I think I do remember being. I just can't remember. Who?
Tracy Ullman.
Oh, she's a beast.
And dude,
yeah,
they're improvising almost the entire movie.
Yeah,
she's tit for tat with him, man.
I can't remember the movie. I do remember. I think being good
with him. Boom, boom, boom the whole time. And there's no female to me that he's ever done a movie with that could keep up with Woody and his wit. Except Tracy Ullman. No offense to any of the other. I would have to see it, and then we can debate that another time. But I'm not saying I disagree with you. You're probably right. Do me a favor.
Yeah.
At some point, watch the movie, and we'll make that something we can talk about.
What's your favorite Woody Allen movie?
Oh man.
Well, you know what my favorite Woody. I mean, Annie Hall is great. He's made some great movies.
I know,
but
Manhattan,
let me tell you,
dude, and
Broadway Danny Rose makes me laugh out loud.
That's a good.
Because it reminds me of Our Business.
Well, it's Our Business.
And I like how they set it up where they do flashbacks where they're all, at the deli or the diner, talking about, hey, remember that one time? You remember, and they'll start telling these stories, man.
Yeah, dude. That's a good movie.
Well,
Sleepers I didn't like, and everybody loves Sleepers.
I don't even remember Sleepers.
Yeah, see, I don't
even remember Sleepers.
Dude,
but I do have to be honest. Like, the one thing that has bothered, I have the ability to like something on its own merit, but then can still have a little bit of issues with it. And one of my problems with Woody Allen's movies is kind of the same problem that I had with Friends, is the lack of diversity. Yeah, it's like when you're in New York City, like you're in these places.
You are in New York.
You know what I mean? It's like you can't even
His movies look like he shot them in Nebraska.
Yes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I never really thought about it like that.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things.
But Rube, didn't you grow up, when you were growing up, because I know there's a generation now of people who go, I needed a doll that looked like me. I needed somebody on TV to look like me, right?
Yeah.
I never did that when I was growing up. We laughed at whoever was on, and of course, we always thought somebody who was Italian sometimes was Latino. We didn't know the difference. Sometimes I didn't know the difference. So I just kind of went, oh, this brown dude is kind of like representing.
I think what happens is when you see the social climate in America, not to get too deep or to get deep, is, we have a lot of kids growing up with low self-esteem. If you look at our educational system, we're not really taught true history. So if you just went by, especially our generation, on what we were taught, then you kind of think like, oh, wow, black people didn't really do anything. But then as you get older, you realize is how having examples, on having positive images, on having things that you can relate to, knowing that we've invented some of the most innovative things that we use in society today that black people have had a hand in. And it's not to exclude anybody else, or it's not to say that other cultures or races haven't invented things, but when you're ostracized and you're a black kid and all of it is like it's slavery and then Martin Luther King, you're like, all we were was slaves and then Martin Luther King came and saved us. Like, they don't really even teach you much about Malcolm X.
I didn't even know about the Buffalo Soldiers.
Yeah, there's just so much that gives you pride. Yeah. And then if you're white, that's something you wouldn't really pay attention to or notice, because the history reflects your accomplishments and your achievements, and it's always looked at as in a positive light. And as time goes on and people get more educated and understand how positive images and seeing people on TV or having dolls or whatever makes you feel good about yourself and who you are and not feel ashamed. If every doll is white and you're black, at some point it's like, is there something wrong with me? Like, why can't there be a doll?
I never really thought about that, because like even G.I. Joe dolls or back in the day was Evel Knievel or $6 Million Man, the Bionic Man. I never really thought about like where's.
I don't think. Go ahead.
Even portraying people who it's like even I saw a documentary on General Custer. He had nothing but arrows in his back.
Yeah.
Right. So he was running, and his wife went to the president at the time and spoke to everybody. Said his legacy has to be a hero, and they painted General Custer from that point on as this guy that was standing there as these savages are shooting arrows into his, and the arrows were all in his back,
and
basically.
They've created these narratives for hundreds of years. You know what I mean? So my thing is, when you see kids now, the ability to get dolls that look like them, that has to make them feel good about themselves. I'm not saying that all black kids should have all black dolls and all white kids should have white dolls, but there needs to be representation.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, when especially when you deal with issues of race, people look at it in terms of taking away from someone and giving something else to someone else.
Sure, yeah.
But it's more so it's like, let's do it in addition to. White people have been celebrated for years. Well, let's start celebrating black people and Latino people and Asian people, or we're all Americans no matter what race we are.
Right.
So why aren't we all being celebrated for our achievements and being uplifted so these kids could have something to look up to? Because that's one of the problems in these communities is there's not a lot of role models, which leads to some of the issues we have in these communities. If kids had a lot of self-esteem, they probably wouldn't make some of the decisions that they're making because they would find more value in life. Correct. In lives, you know what I mean? Their own lives, in their community.
Sure.
So it's about being taught in the home, self-love and everything, which my parents were great. I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Me being Haitian. Remember, I talk a lot about I used to be ashamed to be Haitian.
Right.
Well, see, people always, what's funny? It's like people always want to complain about the condition, but they don't want to examine what started the condition. So in my situation, I was ashamed about being Haitian. Why? Because everything I'd ever heard about Haiti outside of the home has been they're poor, voodoo, like every negative aspect is what is the moniker that was placed on the culture. Yeah. But no one talks about, Haiti being the first independent black country to gain its freedom when they beat off the French. You know what I mean? And, I've been abandoned since then because of that, because they actually beat the French out of Haiti and they won. So
wow,
I didn't know these things like that. And then know that then to grow up and know like, oh, everybody in Haiti isn't poor and dying. And, is there poverty there? Absolutely. But if you only show people one aspect, that's kind of what you believe. And then you're kind of like, I'm Haitian. People just like people think all Africans are walking around with loincloths and spears and, hunting in the jungle. And then when you go to Africa, you see Range Rovers and Mercedes and Bentleys and Ferraris and mansions. And you're like, wait a minute. This is not the Africa I read about in the history books or saw on TV. Everything is not National Geographic. And as an American, when you show up to these places, dude, and you see the complete opposite of what you thought and what you've been taught, you're embarrassed. I was embarrassed. I'm like, yo, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. My boy David Cow, shout out David Cow, not try to, South Africa's finest, not try to put his business out on the street. But when he came and picked, I'm not trying to put his business out in the street, but he does very well financially.
Okay.
And when he showed up in the Rover, in the Range Rover, you're like, okay. Yeah, you know what I mean? And then you drive around and you're just like, yo, I've been sold a bill of goods, man.
Yeah.
Are there
Look at
jungle?
Mexico City.
Dude.
I mean.
Mexico?
Yeah,
everybody thinks, when everybody thinks of Mexico, they think of Tijuana. Or Cancun or Puerto Vallarta or
Cabo San
Lucas, the resort areas. Then everybody else in Mexico is just like poor and uneducated. Yeah. All that shit. It's not.
Or the caravan. They see the footage of, the images
man.
of the caravan.
And that stuff is dangerous.
Yeah.
And it's caused a lot of things, and people look at it as like, oh, why are you worried about, like, the whole point when I said people complain about something but never address what caused the complaint. I remember online, I was doing the show Blacks Only in South Africa.
Okay.
I think we did over 10,000 people.
Sounds
in
like
South,
something I wouldn't be cast
in
for,
South,
but go ahead.
But see, that's what people think. But it's really a spin. It's really a spin on apartheid.
Oh, okay.
It's a joke. It's called,
yeah.
because everything used to be whites only. So they did a show called Blacks Only. But guess what? Show you what kind of heart. Like, there's always an ethnic person, a white person, or whatever on that show called Blacks Only, which was never afforded to them during that time.
Correct.
Whites only meant whites only, and they meant it. This was a joke. So this one guy goes, I post about doing the Blacks Only show, and he goes, "That's racist."
Yeah, I had.
And normally I wouldn't respond to people on social media because obviously anybody who would post "that's racist" shows me off the top that they're closed-minded and they don't really read and they probably haven't traveled and really understand history in the world. But when people talk about networks like BET, our Black award shows, our Latino award shows, they go, "Oh, you're cutting out the white people. If we did that, you'd say it's racist." It's like, no, motherfucker.
You've had 80 years of awards for whites.
The whole reason why we had to create this is because we've been excluded. So since you won't give us awards and won't recognize us, we had to do it ourselves. If you guys were honestly being inclusive, it's just such a lazy, disingenuous way to look at things. Go, "Oh, that's racist," and then to be the one in power in the majority and go, "Oh, if that was us, they'd call us racist, but it's okay for you guys to do it." Really, you're trying to act like things are equal now, like it's an equal footing now?
Well, first of all, not even close. And I think it's funny that you bring this up because obviously this was a couple years ago, but my brother-in-law had posted some. I can't remember how it got on his timeline or on his comments. It was the breakdown, the auditions for Hamilton, which were all minorities, all colors, whatever the breakdown was. Only, it said, minorities only or people of color only. And one of his friends, who's white, obviously went, "Wow, how racist is that?" Ugh. And it took everything I had to not go. And when I brought it up to my brother, I go, "Did you realize Broadway has been white for so many decades that he just, Lin-Manuel Miranda was basically just going, okay, guys, for once, no, it was like, it's just people of color.
Yeah.
It's the purpose of this play.
Yeah.
And then look how amazing this play ended up going on to do and whatever. The Tony Awards, everything else.
Absolutely.
And but I thought, God, that one dude, it was just like, well, how racist is that?
Yeah.
Not knowing, this guy knows nothing about Broadway and how many years it's been white people or Jewish people or what, you know what I mean? Like
another example, we talk about professional football and the Rooney Rule. And then you hear people complaining like, well, you should just, people should just be hired on their own merit. It shouldn't have anything to do with race. I go, yeah, but you've never been excluded from the process.
From the process.
You've always been included. You've always been included.
Process.
So to ensure that other people are included, unfortunately, because we live in a racist country, which is fact that no one can debate.
Of course.
That you do have to put in some rules to make people include other people because they wouldn't do it on their own.
They're not going to do it on their own. It's like affirmative action. People go, oh, well, that's not. Well, it was implemented because we started looking at the hiring of Caucasians after a while. And at some point, it's like, wait a minute.
We got to give other people a chance.
We got to give some people a chance.
And here's the thing. If you're a white person, I'm sure I do understand them going, if they're not racist or whatever, and they go, well, why am I losing out to somebody
maybe less qualified?
Yeah, but the whole thing, number one, who's to say they're less qualified? But chances are you're going to get another opportunity. And the whole thing of affirmative action to me is this: anybody who's racist usually isn't going around saying that they're racist. So if you go into a job situation, you have no idea what that person's beliefs are behind the desk. You're just there for a job interview. Yeah. So who knows, non-verbally, you walk into the room and he's going, this nigga. Okay, yeah, great. all right, well, so I don't think you're a right fit or whatever, or they just don't get the job. Yeah. But if they're forced to hire somebody, it takes that away.
Correct.
It eliminates whether that person is.
He looks intimidating.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be that.
It could be anything.
As the guy looking at
but the point is, with affirmative action, it takes that element away. Yep. Like, we don't have to figure out if that person is a racist, or we don't have to figure out if they did get the job or didn't get the job based on their own merits. At least now you have a playing field, because there are people of color who are qualified.
And also, Rube,
and who just don't get a lot of opportunities.
For the last century or so, I mean, even before that, but let's just go 1 century. The people that were more qualified.
Oh, come on, man.
Than the person who was fair skin.
Yeah.
And these people got passed.
Look at sports. Black people weren't allowed to play basketball at one time. Yeah. Wrap that around your brain. They weren't allowed to play professional basketball at one time, or baseball. Yeah. Who do you think was more qualified?
And football.
Yeah. Who do you think was more qualified? If we're being totally honest. Why is the NBA all of a sudden a majority black all of a sudden? Why? And at one point they weren't qualified in football. They, with integration, a lot of these colleges wouldn't have black players. They weren't qualified. Yeah. They weren't good enough. Come on, let's just be honest and have honest conversations. Yeah, there's certain things we should leave in the past. We have to evolve, but in that, we're talking about hundreds of years of a way of thinking. And if you go into the NFL and you look at these coaches, that are getting opportunities, and people want to go, oh, well, he got an opportunity and he didn't do anything with it. But usually coaches, which is a fact, black coaches get the worst jobs offered. Now somebody's going to go, oh, well, we can't win now. We're supposed to give them all the best jobs. But the reality of the situation is, if Bill Belichick retires and a white guy gets that job with Tom Brady and they're still successful, it's not like he came into somebody's not coming into a rebuilding situation. Right. Normally, coaches, black coaches are, the reason why there's a vacancy in the first place is because they didn't do well. Yeah. So, but you have no choice to take those jobs. The hard part is, are they really going to give me a full chance to go through this rough patch and let me build a team? Look at the coach in Denver. What happened to the coach in Denver? Black coach got fired off after 1 year. Now, I'm not saying John Elway is racist. I'm not saying that at all. It's just ironic that, hey, man, he didn't get it done in 1 year. He got to go. So it's just.
And that happens to some white coaches.
It happens to white coaches also.
But
absolutely.
Why not give him one more? I mean, because there's been others who have done shitty for a few years, and people keep going, why is this dude, how is this coach still here? Yeah. I mean, it's just it's weird how it works like that too as well. So,
you take somebody like Coach Marvin Lewis, who used to coach the Cincinnati Bengals. Never won a playoff game, and he actually recruited me out of high school. Because I was a baller. Anyway, he came to the home, did a home visit. Shout out Marvin Lewis, man. I appreciate your belief in me.
Ruben keeps bringing up football, his high school years, and yet I've seen no footage. I've seen nothing.
You know what? I'm going to try to find some footage, man.
You're going to try to? If I balled like that, I'd have footage right now.
I'm sure I have footage somewhere. You want me to bring in my newspaper clippings when I was getting recruiting? Want me to bring in some recruiting letters from all the colleges?
Chris, we want to see that, right?
You want me to bring in some recruiting letters, Chris?
Yeah.
Hey,
it's
man,
also not fair that you look just like this when you were 16.
Don't hate the player, man. I was a decent athlete, man.
Now it's decent.
Well, I didn't make it to the pros. I didn't make it to the pros.
Up until right now, he was All-American.
I never said I was All-American. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't put too much on it.
No,
I wouldn't put too much on it.
I wouldn't put that's African-American. What? Did I just come up with that right now?
That's racist as shit. Anyway, man.
I'm popping for those who aren't watching.
Please stop popping.
Anyway.
Please stop popping. No, so that's all about it. I think it's about, it's about inclusion at the end of the day. Yeah. And I think, getting back to your original point about the dolls and everything.
Oh, I wanted you to,
here's the thing. We're all as human beings, we all want the same things. And it's just, and then with racism, it's almost weird that people don't think, like, we have more in common than we think. Like, everybody wants to, be happy, healthy, make money, live a good life, enjoy
family, friends.
No matter what race you are.
I know.
No matter what race you are.
Wouldn't it be interesting if this whole, Bird Box, this Sandra Bullock movie with the blindfold. It'd be so interesting, man, to get 20, 30 people blindfolded in a room and just to see how they get along, and then everybody take their
masks off.
Yeah. They'd probably be surprised. And without knowing off somebody's voice what they are. You know what I mean?
Well,
I think that would be so interesting.
It would be very,
especially somebody who's like, somebody who's from a rural town, small town in the South or the Midwest that have only been around white people. I think they'd be surprised how well they get along with blacks and Latinos and Asians and Middle Eastern people if they didn't know. Right? If you don't see...
If you take two babies and put them in a crib, they're going to play.
By the way, speaking of that, I was going to say this about my daughter, about B. She's always picking dolls of color. Love that about her, right? I mean, and it's not... She wanted...
And tell them about...
She's half...
She's half. Her mom is white.
Mom is Southern white.
Yes.
That's
another level. That's another level of white. That's a whole other level of white.
Other white people are like,
white.
Ooh, Southern white. So she's half white, half Mexican. Looks more like Jen, I think. I don't think she looks. I mean, does she look ethnic? I don't think she does.
She does. She does.
She's got an ethnic look to her.
Yeah.
Okay. All
yeah. Right. She definitely has an ethnic attitude.
She has the ethnic attitude.
That is your daughter, bro.
Yeah. I know.
That is your daughter.
You know one of these days we'll put a pickup of her, and I'd like to see other people's opinion because to me she looks like Jen.
Well, there's some people that they might look a certain way, and then if you told them, they're like, oh, I can see that. Like, I don't look at your daughter and go, oh, she's Mexican. But
right.
if she's not, if she said she was mixed, you'd go, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah, it's not like obvious.
Yeah.
I know you think she probably just looks straight white, and she doesn't. It's like there's some people you meet that you go,
interesting.
Yeah, I can see you being mixed with something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like that girl, there was a girl that I met at a comedy show, and I was like, you have to be adopted. She was showing pictures of her family, and I'm like, how did you end up in, and isn't that crazy? Sometimes one kid will just pop, and it's something from who knows, where. But anyway, what were we talking about? The dolls. But just on that, I love that B, like, she wanted this about a year and a half ago. She wanted this one black doll, this female black doll. And we were like, okay, I'm like, great.
Yeah.
Love that about her.
But isn't it funny that's even like, oh, okay, yeah.
I know, right?
That's even weird to do that, but that just shows you how society is like, hey, you sure you want a black doll?
Yeah.
There's some really good white ones over there. Like, that's the whole point of what you brought up from the beginning, why it is important just to have choices, and it's important for people to see positive images in themselves. That's why a lot of people in the black community are up in arms about certain images that are being portrayed. It's not saying that it isn't authentic to the African American experience or being black in America, but we're not monolithic. You know what I mean? There's not two black people aren't the same. No two human beings are the same. So you can't expect everybody in the race to be the same. We're all different. And that's a problem. It's like we all get lumped into one thing where we let white people
I'm supposed to speak Spanish.
Yeah. And we let white people be diverse. We don't put all white people, at least I don't, but even society I don't think does. We know the difference between this white person and that white person. Like, we judge them based mostly on their behavior and not so much what they look like.
Oh, so, are you Irish? Are you Dutch?
They could be anything, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're not like, oh, what are you?
Yeah.
Oh, you're German?
People think
you don't act German.
Yeah.
Or you don't,
Well, it's like I talk about in my act. It's like, I'm black. There's African Americans, there are Haitian Americans, there's Jamaicans, it goes on and on. Africans from like they're from all over the world. Like, all black people aren't just the same. Just like there's people from Ireland, there's people from Sweden, there's people from Scotland, there's people from wherever, but it's just weird. As the black culture, we're looked at as just one thing and we're all the same. And we've even been brainwashed of that in our own culture, where another black person will find out I'm Haitian and go, oh man, I thought you was black.
Exactly.
Black is a color.
It's just a color. It's not a culture.
It's not a nationality. You know what I mean?
What? Does anybody know, or do you know where the term black, do Africans say they're
black? Yeah.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would love to find out where that
I'm
started.
sure I can show you video from the Blacks Only show. What's up, black people? They kind of start off the show.
So were they? Do you think black people were saying that to each other in Africa way, way back? Like,
I don't know about.
There's no way, right? Where did it get labeled? Is what I'm. Where did black people get labeled? How did people from Europeans?
Yeah, I mean,
because how would they know the difference?
I mean,
when they were.
I think labels is just a part of society. I think that's what people spend too much time doing is labeling people.
I'm going to try to find it, but it has to be when Europeans started coming into Africa.
Oh, of course.
Because how would they? Because if you went back
sometimes
5,000 years and in Africa where there was no Europeans yet, why would they call each other black?
They would just be human beings. Yeah. Until for you to know you're different, you'd have to see differences. You'd have to see something else to go, oh, again, getting back to the whole dolls and everything like that is when you're a kid and you ask like why our generation didn't make a big deal about it was my parents aren't a good example because they came from another country and they were kind of just insulated in their own little world. But I think for the most part, it had been a certain way for so long. And I think as people started getting more educated, people started speaking out like there needs to be diversity in toys and everything else. And then people are like, oh my God, it's just a toy. Like, yeah, but it's a toy that you have representing you. So of course you don't see an issue with it. There's black kids who think something is wrong with them.
Right. Because they don't see anything.
They don't see anything, and they're going to school, and they see all these, white girls with long hair and this and that. So they think, oh, if my hair is not like that, then just the whole saying in the black culture, like, oh, you got good hair. What does good hair mean?
What's that supposed to be?
What is good hair in comparison to them? And who told you that theirs is good? If they have good hair, then you're automatically saying you have bad hair.
Bad hair.
Or insinuating that.
It's interesting because B has recently got 2 Barbie dolls. Mm-hmm. My sister gave her one, which is like a little cowgirl, because my sister Cindy, she's a Mexican cowgirl.
Yeah.
Boots, the whole thing, and more of the white. And the other one is a little shorter and a little thicker. Like when I even looked at it, I go, oh wow, they gave her some density. But B's like, oh, these are my 2 Barbie dolls. This one's the cow and this one's the fat one. And I was like, no, she's not fat. She's just built differently, B. She's shorter. She's just she has curves. But it's interesting that even B at this immediately thought fat. Where her other Barbie doll is that typical real skinny, even though, B's like super thin.
Yeah.
But I kept telling her she's not fat. And matter of fact, the shorter Barbie that's got some density, if you will, some curves, looks better to me than and is a reality for young girls.
But here's the thing: you're educating her, and then she'll make her own choices. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the fact is, she has a father that's going to give her information to have her look at things in a different way. So society is just not raising your child. And we were talking about, off air about TV shows on like we're having this conversation and it could be making some people uncomfortable or they might not like it or whatever.
Sure.
But these are just honest. This is not about exclusion. It's about inclusion. And that's what it's all about. Mm-hmm. It's not like, hey, what black people are saying or Latinos are saying, hey, we want our rights, take away rights from white people. We're not saying that. It's like we should all can
Equal
rights.
That's it.
That's equal rights.
Equal rights
for everybody. And you can't say that it's been equal rights for everybody. And it hasn't always been that way.
Yeah.
So just to even come from that perspective, so to have this conversation, and even we talk about television shows, how everybody's so sensitive now. So this topic could be sensitive. People can get sensitive about this, but look at the shows. Like, I was young when these shows came on. These were basically our parent shows, like Sanford and Son and Good Times and All in the Family
was
the Jeffersons. Could these shows even exist today?
Boy, man,
in this climate, in this politically correct climate, and people basically being fake and trying to act like there's no racial issue or there's no racial divide in America. Like, it seems like, I don't know, in a weird way, like a lot of things have gotten better. I think, things have improved for minorities in this country to a certain extent. Yeah, yep. Women, a lot of things, there have been improvements, but it's still not enough. It's still not equality across the board. And you still got to realize that when you're a person of color and you're the one that's living this life, people love to say, hey, you're lucky this isn't in the 60s. It's like, well, yeah, but that doesn't mean we stop the progress because things have gotten a little better.
No,
Lucky
this is the 60s. It's so funny. My dad was, well, first of all, the fact that it was brought to our attention. I think one of the reasons why you're bringing this up, somebody brought, Renee, one of the producers here, brought up that there's a young generation now that are offended by the show Seinfeld, and growing up with Sanford and Son and All in the Family and Good Times and the Jeffersons, and it was just pushing the limit with a race and everything. Somebody posted that there was an episode of Sanford and Son where they were in court, and Fred's like, "How come only black people in here?" And the guy's like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm only quoting him, and this is on a TV show. And he turned around and went, "There's enough niggas in here to make a Tarzan movie." Do you remember that?
I don't remember that episode.
Yeah, and somebody put it on Facebook, and it was. I mean, most of us were laughing our ass off, going, "Whoa!" But then there was all these other people like, what? I can't. I mean, first of all, I couldn't believe he said that on. That was network TV.
Yeah.
In 77, probably 78. But he was making he was trying to make a point. And blacks in the court.
And what's interesting?
Today, could you imagine today?
No, I couldn't imagine today. And then you remember the flack that Chris Rock is getting because of Louis C.K. when Louis C.K. used the N-word. I can say it, the word nigga, and it's so funny.
Yeah, and by the way, I only use it because I was.
I know you're quoting them, but here's the irony on how much, like, you're one of my best friends in the world, and even when you were quoting, it made me uncomfortable.
Right.
Where,
I never say that.
And you never say it, and I respect, and that's
why
I
should have just said N-word, but
yeah. Next time, just say the N-word.
Okay. Well, I tried to make sure.
All right, motherfucker. All right.
Sorry about that. No, seriously.
No, but you're just quoting them, and you should be able to. I mean, but
I honestly never, ever.
But my point is this: so when you see, like, on that episode, and by the way, it's obviously that people are going after Louis C.K. because they're bringing up something from 2011, I think is when it came on, and it was on HBO. It wasn't like they did it on some public access show. Right. I mean, this footage had been out there for years, but now people are bringing it up. But Seinfeld is being celebrated because Seinfeld was basically like, I don't use that word and I really have no desire to use it, which, made people go, well, good. Somebody gets it, and I'm not shitting on Louis C.K. for using the word. Do I like to hear it? Not really. Yeah. But at the same time, as an artist, he has the freedom to do whatever he wants. And if I don't like something, if I don't support something, then I have the ability to turn the channel or not listen to it.
Correct.
Yeah. So. That's my
and
point.
If you, and I don't know if we talked about this before, and if so, then I'm kind of repeating. But you told me that story about Patrice O'Neal,
Yes.
walking into the cellar. I think.
No. It
Or
was at this club.
just a New York club, right?
It was a New York club,
And then he goes up. He like went on,
Yeah.
because they just threw him on, right?
Yeah.
And then.
Well, well, what happened was.
Didn't he come in and just do his part?
First time I'd ever seen Patrice O'Neal live. Man, this could have been like 99 or 2000 or something like that.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense. That's about right. Yeah.
But it was a while ago. I can't remember the exact year, but ironically, I was with a comedian by the name of Steve White. You know Steve White from back in the day?
Yeah.
So Steve White
Black
was
comedian, by the way.
Yeah, black
Sounds
comedian
like a
named
white
Steve
dude, but
White.
it's-
He was in the
yeah.
movie Do the Right Thing, and
Funny comic,
and he's been in
man.
Clockers,
Charismatic.
Def Jam. Steve has been around for a while.
Yeah, good comic.
But Steve, he's from New York. So when I came to New York, he kind of like took me around, and I got to hang out like Greg Giraldo and all these guys, like people that I liked and looked up to. But I had never seen Patrice O'Neal before, and Patrice comes on stage, and I'll never forget this. And I got to call Steve because I don't even know if Steve remembers this, but me and Steve were like, yo. So Patrice goes up on stage, and he goes, he does a joke about him going on Conan. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, I just did Conan. And he was like, it was a cool credit and everything, but black people don't give a fuck about Conan. And he goes, I'm just paraphrasing. He's like, black people don't care about Conan. Like, why would they? When you watch the show, it's white, big nigga, white. Funny joke, hilarious. Patrice murders, he kills.
Right.
And then Louis comes up after him and was like, yo, give it up for that big nigga. Yo.
But this was also a time when you could just say that. Like,
no, you couldn't say it, but it was so for him. I think.
What did Patrice do?
He laughed.
He laughed.
Patrice was dying, and you could hear Patrice dying back.
Laughing.
So I think that made everybody okay with it. And then you go, I might not agree with it, but obviously that's a relationship. And hey,
I mean, that's not something I would ever say.
Of course,
but that kind of shows how Louis C.K. was even back then, and the fact that I'm not. By the way, I'm not advocating for Louis C.K. on anything. And he I'm like sitting here going, hey, give a break on all the shit he's done.
Yeah.
But it does show you that even Patrice is like, hey man, that's my boy.
Yeah.
He's just fucking with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I think we can get this whole conversation about the N-word and everything. I have my strong feelings about it. And I think sometimes, as an artist, you can use whatever tools you feel you want to use. Like, here's the thing. We all in life, we can do anything we want to do.
Yeah. Everybody
has the right to do anything they want to do, but just knows that there's always consequences for your actions. And when I mean consequences, I don't mean negative. It'd be good consequences and bad consequences, but they're going to be consequences. You can do whatever you want. Yeah. You do not have to stop at a red light if you want to. You absolutely do not have to stop at a red light. Right. You don't have to.
That's true.
But there could be consequences.
Yeah,
and that's what people don't realize. Yeah. Like, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah.
Say nigga all you want. But if somebody punches you in your fucking face,
that's right.
That's a part of it too.
Yeah.
Or be in circles where people allow you to do that bullshit.
Yeah.
And there are some white comics that use the N-word on stage, and some of them might think it's edgy or whatever. I've been fortunate enough not to have heard it live pretty much like in our generation with guys we're working with. I can't think of anybody who did it because I don't know, to be honest with you, I don't really know how I'd react if it happened in the moment. Like if we just did a spot at the Laugh Factory this weekend and a white comic went up and
I see what you're saying.
On stage and a bit used it.
I see what you're saying.
I'd be like,
Yeah, that's...
I might say something. You know what I mean?
Man,
I might say something.
Because I've actually never used the N-word on stage ever.
Yeah.
I have no reason to. Why would I even? It's interesting because I never really thought about it like that. There have been some non-black comics who've thrown the word out, you just kind of go, oh,
Yeah.
what do you?
Well, the word is a lightning rod, and then you start getting into the ignorance of, well, it's just a word, no one should say it, and then I don't even want to get into that.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
But again, it's people trying to regulate and tell Black people what they can and can't do in certain situations. But I know Black people that hate the word, don't like it being used on any level. I have Black friends that will tell other Black people, like, yo, what up, my nigga? I'm like, hey, dude, don't call me that. You're like, man, come on. Hey, I'm fucking serious, dude. Don't call me that shit. And you're like, oh, shit, this motherfucker's serious. Yeah. But I grew up on a culture. I grew up in a culture where we use that word.
It was okay, yeah.
But we used it amongst ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
So there is a hypocrisy in it also. But at the same time, my question is, when I do hear a white person use it, and the question that I would ask is, why would you want to use the word? Forget about me.
Yeah.
Why do you want to use it? Like, what is it that do you want to use it because we say that you can't use it? Is it a defiance part of you? But why would you want to use it? Because usually somebody who looks like you coming out of their mouth was meant to be hurtful and painful. Like, why would you want to use it? But again, the flip side is there's a lot of Black people go, hey, if you want white people to stop using it, you should need to stop using it. So it's a whole big argument that I don't even want to dive into right now.
White dudes that are in hip hop culture, rap.
They don't use it. I don't hear them using it in the songs. I never heard Eminem use that in a song.
Eminem they use. But I've been around. I've heard white dude. I've seen white dudes with Black guys using the word.
It's
so,
again,
and the Black dudes, it doesn't even faze them
because that's somebody that they know. That's their boy.
Okay.
It's just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now if me being a visitor into that circumstance and I heard that white guy do it, I'd probably look at the Black guys going, I guess, all right. That would be my attitude. Like, okay. I'm not going to pop off into a group, into a family setting, because white people can be your family, you know what I mean? In a family setting where obviously they gave this guy a pass to use the word. So I'm going to be a visitor in that situation. Like, hey man, you can't see that. Like, motherfucker, we grew up with this dude. Like, that wouldn't be my place to interject, but I would be thinking like, oh, okay. Just be careful saying that when you're outside of this group.
Correct.
You know? And then my whole thought when I saw that in New York that one time was like, oh wow, weird. That would have never went down at the Comedy Act Theater where I started, when DL and Joe Torre and all those guys.
Yeah.
Like, that wouldn't, he'd have got ran out of that.
Right.
Real quick.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Or at the Birdland West or a place like that. So that's a lot to do with your environment and who you're around. But, getting back to the bigger point of like this climate of people having honest conversations, race makes people uncomfortable. Yeah. So they don't want to talk about it. And I do understand why a lot of white people are like, when you talk, they're like, do we got to talk about, because for them, it probably is tiresome because they're not dealing with the effects of it. We're dealing with the effects of it. So it's still prevalent. It's not old news to us. It's old news. You guys, they've heard it before. Yeah. Been there, done that. Okay, we get it. All right. They get mad. All right, white people are bad, Black people. Is that what you want us to say? And it's like, no, it's not even about that. But you got to understand, just because it doesn't affect you on a day-to-day basis doesn't mean that it doesn't affect us on a day-to-day basis. And we still have the right to go, this is wrong.
Correct.
We deserve better. Whatever the case may be, because at the end of the day, we all want the same things. And when it comes to this issue, the thing that's sad about it, most people don't want to talk about it, and we should actually be talking about it more. Because when you start talking about something more, hopefully you can start making some headway. And not just talking about it, just talk about it. Have real, honest conversations. How many times have you had a conversation with somebody like, damn, never looked at it that way? Never thought about it. But that comes from two people being open-minded and really willing to listen. Really willing to get somebody else's perspective where you can go, why? Just like I'll let you talk. The last thing I'll say is when we talk about like the kids and playing to each other and being blindfolded and all these things, I've just noticed in my lifetime, because there was times where I was ignorant, where I thought all white people were the devil and this and that. Were you because you're growing up in an environment that's been oppressed and people are angry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're angry at the quote unquote man. But then when you start interacting with people like, yo, this dude is cool. Oh, all white people aren't the same. So you do have the ability to judge people on their own merit. And I think that's one thing that's dope about comedy, man, is to interact with people out of the after a show.
Yeah.
People who normally, I've had people go, hey, I didn't really grow up around black people and this and that. And I had my feel. I mean, I could tell you some crazy stories that I've had over the years, but just to even start the conversation and to understand that, okay, maybe I was wrong in my way of thinking all these years, and not all black people are bad, or not all Latino people are bad, or if you're black, not all white people are bad, or not all Arab people or whatever. We get these stereotypes, man, and we think they hold true for everybody in the race. And that's one of the main things I say throughout my act is we're not all the same, man. Yeah. Black, white, or anything. This is not black people. This is any race or culture.
Correct.
So we got to start interacting with each other, having real conversations. Real fucking conversations, man. That's how you learn.
Yeah.
Instead of assuming things. People say and spout these things without having conversations with the actual people that they're talking about.
Yeah. Like for instance, the area I grew up in a small town.
And if you just talk to one black person, that doesn't mean he's the spokesman for all of them. Now go ahead.
Small town, and it was a very anti-gay, very homophobic area. It's a rural area.
Yeah.
Moved out to LA, and I ended up meeting so many gay, lesbian people. They're like the coolest people. Nice. I would have never found that out had I stayed in my small hometown. But listen, I want to get on one thing that we talk about learning something from. I know we had this conversation one time before. This is, with black men getting pulled over, getting shot by cops or whatever. And I remember I asked you one time, I go, Rube, why are they not complying all the time? Just comply. And you said to me, which is something I never ever thought about. You're like, dude, we get fed up. And I never thought about this. For your entire lives, whether you're on a bicycle, a skateboard, probably started there, walking, and then it goes into driving, being pulled up. But I got to talk to you. You got your ID on. You got over and over and over. And Rube said to me, he goes, Johnny, man, dude, it gets old, dude, and we get frustrated, and it's not even right for them to be pulling us over. We're getting pulled over for no reason. I had never thought about that, man.
And
because me watching, a lot of us go, comply, dude.
How do you know that's not his third time that day getting fucking? You know what I mean?
That day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or in the week, and it's like, we're human too. We don't have the right to be frustrated. Now, let me ask you a question. What if every day I came in and just flicked you in back of your ear, just flicked you in back of your ear, and just flicked you in back of your ear, and just flicked you in back of your ear? One time you're like, motherfucker, what the, you're going to snap.
You're going to snap.
You're going to snap. So we don't know when someone, what that person is going through. And it's like, and I'm the same way. I'm like, yo, dude, just listen to and we do need to educate our kids better. And as people of color, we do need to be aware of like, try to calm yourself down as much as possible. But when you've done nothing, could you imagine if you just went to go use the bathroom, dude, and a cop stopped you and just fucking handcuffed you, and you'd be like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? I was just in here doing a podcast. I'm just going, hey, shut up.
Yeah. Don't talk.
Don't talk.
Yeah, man.
Like, shut the fuck. You heard what I said. License. Give me your license. You, like, dude, why the fuck are you yelling at me, dude? I'm a grown man.
Yeah. Right.
And so it builds, but nobody even takes that to account of maybe they're just fed up, man.
When you told me that, and I ended up having that conversation with my dad too. And my dad even said, he goes, even being Mexican and going through the shit he went through in the 50s and 40s, 50s and 60s and all that, he just kind of went, wow, I never thought about that either. I go, Dad, they're getting pulled over just because.
And you're at home on your computer looking at it going, just comply with the officer.
On,
but here's the thing. And say if you've done nothing, you've never committed a crime, you've been harassed. You get pulled over. Here we go again. Then you roll down your window. He goes, license and registration. You go, officer, license and registration.
I mean,
What
yeah.
Like, they're not God.
Yeah.
We should be able to have a talk. You should treat me like a human being.
Yeah.
If you're asking me a question, I have the right to ask you why. But if they're like, you heard what I said.
Yeah.
Don't make me ask you again.
Right.
Like you're a fucking child.
Don't raise your voice. Is what
Yeah.
they say to
So it goes back to, for black people in our mind, it goes back to that whole slave master fucking slave mentality where you think you can talk to me. No, we are free. I have the right to ask you a simple question. And then why? And then you get annoyed. They're pulling up and their fucking hand is on their gun. So you're not like, you don't have the right to be annoyed by that. Yeah. Now, do we need to exercise self-control? But again, it's one of those things is, why is the onus on us to have better behavior and to do these things and not them?
Just like, there's a footage of this white female cop who rolled up on a dude that was asleep in his car. And as she's asking, I just need to check to see if you've got some ID. I need to check to see if you have a warrant. You probably don't, is what she said.
Yeah.
What do you mean you probably don't? Just because this white dude's asleep in his car, you're already assuming he's just a white guy asleep. And then he ends up pulling a gun on her. So it's like, I think, why wasn't she like this? She should have been like this immediately.
Because
she wasn't threatened.
Because of all these images, these movies, whether people believe the rap songs or whatever, it's created this tone where as a culture, as black people in America, we don't get the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
The people who are closed-minded think we're violent and dangerous.
Yeah.
So if there was a bear outside, you've never met the bear, right? If there was a bear outside, you're going to go, I've heard about bears.
Right.
I've read about bears.
Yeah.
That bear is fucking dangerous. And I hate to use that analogy, but it's almost, they don't look at us as human. They look at us as a threat first and foremost.
A pit bull.
Yes. Remember that joke?
Yeah. Automatically.
I had a joke that I said, pit bulls are like the black people of the animal kingdom.
That's right. Yeah.
Because everybody has these stigmas about pit bulls.
You're
like
immediately.
And let me tell you, my friend has this sweet.
Yeah.
All pit bulls aren't the same.
Somebody told me recently that one of the most aggressive dogs are the poodles.
Probably.
I mean,
fucking chihuahuas are aggressive.
Every poodle I've ever seen has barked at me.
So, but getting back to that, to the point is, now, I let me make this clear. I'm not saying that every black person who gets pulled over or gets stopped gets pulled over unjustly and doesn't need to be pulled over. I'm just saying that there's no benefit of the doubt, and we need to there needs to be more training, and we do need more black people patrolling, especially in black areas, who aren't terrified of every fucking black person. Sometimes I watch this shit and I get so fucking angry and I go, you're a cop. Why are you so terrified of everything? And their defense is always, I was afraid for my life. And we've all seen situations and videos and everything where white guys are reaching for the cop's gun and running from them.
Or running towards them. And they're not pulling
they're not pulling their thing.
Nothing.
Because in their mind, they go, okay, that's a human being. Let me tackle them. If it's a black dude, it's like, I got to put this person down.
Yeah.
I need to end this shit.
That's it. To save my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it could be a white person running down them too, empty-handed.
There was a guy, high-speed chase, went into the gas station, slammed it into a gas pump. The cop puts below him. The white cop gets out. The white dude gets out, starts chasing the white cop. The white cop's backtracking, never pulled. Falls on him. The other cops show up, grab the dude off of the cop. Nobody pulled their gun.
So it's fair to say the narrative that's been passed down through these police departments and through our society is black people are dangerous.
Correct.
And with these images, is there crime in the inner city? Are there dangerous black people? Absolutely. But guess what? There's dangerous white people. There's dangerous Latinos. There's dangerous Asians. There's dangerous
Middle Eastern people. Yeah.
We're human beings, man.
I think
and just to put all that shit on us is so wrong. and not to look at people as human beings is so
Correct.
wrong. Everybody in the ghetto is not doing crime.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is not out to rob and steal you. There's some people who are working hard every
to
day.
get out of those to get a college education
and we could even talk about how the drugs, like how some people believe it's systematic.
Yeah.
You know, when we talk about the jail system and everything else, I mean, we can go on and on and on, but I think there's just a lack of compassion and empathy. You know, there needs to be more than that. Like, like if you shoot me, I will bleed, I will die, just like a white person would.
Yeah.
But just to not even have that type, just not to even look at people as human, to knowing that that person might have a mother or a father or a daughter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To not even look at it that way. You just see them like literally like a wild animal, and let me put this person down because they're dangerous. And these are people who, and just because you wear braids or dreads or have tats doesn't mean that you're
Yeah.
like we got to get back to being human and actually communicating and train these officers better to know that every person isn't a threat.
Yeah.
And you know, the flip side of well, how are they supposed to know? Hey man, you chose that job.
Correct.
A pilot knows there's a chance that plane can go down. Every time we buy a ticket, there's a chance that flight might not make it to its destination. Every time we get in the car, like that's just life shit.
Yeah.
But you took an oath to protect and serve no matter what race. So, hey man, maybe me or you don't have to give somebody the benefit of the doubt when it comes to a dangerous situation, but you're supposed to be trained.
Correct.
You're supposed to be somebody we got to,
Yeah.
there needs to be psychological exams be given.
Correct.
You know, I don't think there should be racist cops, and we know police departments are filled with them. That shit needs to be a limit because they're civil servants.
Yeah.
The word servant is in their title of what they do.
Yeah. That's right.
But yet they're terrified and people saying it's okay because they're afraid. So we all can do shit and just say we're afraid?
Yeah.
You know, I didn't even want to talk about this. We were supposed to talk about, you know, TV shows and politically correct and the climate. We were trying to get that with the dolls and everything. It was all inclusive, but there just needs to be an understanding, and we need to really take time on both sides, but just really have some compassion and try to put yourself in other people's position.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
To really get under. I have friends who are police officers, black and white.
I got some family members that are, You
know what I mean?
Yeah.
My godfather, rest in peace, one of the first black detectives on the LAPD.
Tell me about that, yeah.
And taught me to respect law enforcement at a time where I didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why? Because of the constant harassment. You know, shit, I remember getting harassed before my prom. My mom gave me money to go shopping. You know, before the prom, everybody goes shopping.
Yep.
So I'm a senior in high school, about to go, and I leave campus, get into my car. All of a sudden, siren, you know, whoop, boop, pulls me over. Get out the car at gunpoint. I literally just left fourth period. Now I'm at gunpoint.
Wow.
In my car with my homeboy. They take me out of the car. They put me up against the car. And then I'm young. I turn around and go, "Why are you?" And she grabbed me and flung me into a tree. And then she's like, "Stay fucking still," while the other one had the gun on me. And she reaches into my pocket, and I had a wad of money, maybe $200 in my pocket. I'm 17.
Yeah.
I got like $200 in my pocket because I was going to go shopping for Grand Night. I think we were going to Disneyland. I think we went to Disneyland on Grand Night. But anyway, I went to go get an outfit. My mom gave me money to go get an outfit. And she goes, "Oh, what are you selling dope? You selling drugs and this and that?" And I go, "No. What, like, why are you, shut up." And then she gets on the radio and she's going, and then the principal of the school came out and walked over and goes, what are you doing? What are you doing? And they go, then she looks and it's like, "Is he a student at this school?" I go, "Yeah, he's a student at this school. Why are you having against the tree? Why are you harassing them?" And then she goes, "Oh, there was a drive-by in the area and this car matched the description." Really? Then what did me being a drug dealer and all that shit have to do with anything?
Right.
But as a black man, I was just happy to get out of that situation alive. I had a friend, one of my white friends who went to my church. I remember telling him the story, and his dad was horrified. He was like, "I'm gonna call my attorney," and I was just like, "Wow, that's what white people do." Like he was like, "They can't do that," and this and that, and I'm thinking to myself, "Oh shit, I have rights." Like
I know.
Like
As
I
a
can do
minority,
that.
You're just like, all right, I gotta,
man.
I'm alive.
I'm alive. I didn't go to jail or whatever. And my friend's dad, rest in peace, Mr. Dixon. He was so angry for me. He could not believe the story that I told him. Did you get his badge number and what precinct it was? Like he was, but I just wanted it to go away.
Yeah, you just wanted to be.
I just wanted to go.
But
but as a kid, it showed me like, oh shit, like, man. And then it had me educate myself because again, going back to my parents are immigrants in this country. So they moved under the radar. You know, they weren't ruffling any feathers. They just wanted to come, make money, and take care of their family. That's it. Be law-abiding citizens. They taught us to be law-abiding citizens. And even though that didn't work for my sister, but they taught us all to be law-abiding citizens and be the best human beings we could be. And like, as you know, my sister changed her life and she's a great human being. But aside from that, it just shows you, even back then, I mean, I remember being pulled over, being asked my gang name, like all these shit, just, it's offensive. It's offensive. And this is my last cop story. So I was in college and I was driving home. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning and I got pulled over. And by that time I had educated myself on how to deal with the police. How to deal with police officers when getting pulled over. So I got pulled over by police. So the first thing I do when I get pulled over by a cop, I even do that to this day. I pull over, put my car in park, turn off the engine, roll down the window, and I put both my hands outside. Outside the window, like this. And this white cop must have been cool as fuck when he walked up and goes, "What the fuck are you doing, dude? Put your hands in." You know what I said to him? I said, "Hey, dude, I don't know you. I just wanted to make sure that there was no confusion." He's like, "Man, he's like, your tail light is out, dude." He's like, I'm not gonna fuck. And this was in the 90s. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he got offended, but I'm like, dude,
you just
walk. Hey, man. My experience with you guys is I better do everything.
Remember Richard Pryor's, I am reaching for my
Exactly.
I mean,
and why do you think comedians are coming up with these jokes and talking about these things? Like when you go to New York and you hear all these comedians do jokes about cabs or riding the subway, because that's their experience. Black people, when you watch us on stage, we're speaking about things that we're actually experiencing. You know, so to you it might be old because you heard it and heard it and heard it again. And to be an original, maybe as a comic, that's why I don't talk about a lot of that stuff. But it doesn't negate that person's experience, and his right to talk about it. You know, it's been talked about it enough, so it has to be something very specific and special for me to talk about it. But they have the right to talk about it, and just because you're tired of hearing it, you should be tired of the condition that's causing them to talk about it.
Correct. Instead of going, oh, this again. It should be, why this again? Why is this guy talking about this in 2019?
Because it happened last week.
I am reaching for my wallet.
Yo, we got to play that Richard Pryor clip on this show.
Oh, we should just play that.
We'll play
because that was like 1977, 1978.
Oh, yeah.
Still holds up today.
And we'll play that on this episode, Chris.
Cops put a hurting on your ass, man, you know. They really degrade you. White folks don't believe that shit, don't believe cops degrade. Oh, come on, those beatings, those people are resisting arrest. I'm tired of this harassment of police officers. Because the police live in your neighborhood, see? And you be knowing them as Officer Timpson. Hello, Officer Timpson, going bowling tonight? Yes, nice pinto you have. Niggas don't know them like that. See, white folks get a ticket, they pull over. Hey, officer, yes, glad to be of help. Here you go. Nigga got to be talking about, I am reaching into my pocket for my license. Because I don't want to be no motherfucking accident. police degrade. I don't know. You know, it's awful. You wonder why a nigga don't go completely mad. You know, you do. You get your shit together. You work all week, right? And then you get dressed. You make, say, cat make $125. We get $80 if he lucky. Right, and he go out, get clean, be driving with his old lady, going out to a club, and the police pull over. Get out of the car, that was a robbery, a nigga look just like you. All right, put your hands up, take your pants down, spread your cheeks. Now, what nigga feel like having fun after that? Oh, let's just go home, baby. You go home, beat your kids and shit. You're gonna take that shit out on somebody.
But hey, you guys, let me just say, thank you for listening. This wasn't what we planned on talking about,
Right.
but it was a real honest conversation.
Went. That's how it goes, man.
And that's why I appreciate our friendship so
Yeah.
much, because we do have these conversations and want to learn about one another.
Correct.
You know, so
Yeah.
I think it's important and I say this to Maya, if you have friends from other races and they're really your friends, really have conversations.
Yeah,
you
get
know,
to know them.
learn some
Yeah.
things. Don't assume some things. Ask why. And I think that bridges the gap. That brings people together by having understanding no matter what race you are. You know, we should all try to understand and respect one another. It's not like we all got to have this kumbaya moment.
Right.
We're all going to be best friends or anything, but there should be a respect.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
that's all I'm saying.
Yes.
And judge people accordingly based on the content of their character and not the color of their skin.
Boom.
All right. That's
Boom.
Ruben Paul.
Johnny Sanchez.
And we are out of here. Thank you guys for listening
Thanks,
and
man.
watching.
Thank you.
Ruby motherfucking Tuesdays.
This show is all about diversity and bringing everyone together. You never know who you're going to see at Ruby Tuesdays.